Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Carmen. Nice to speak with you.
Nice to talk to you, too. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. I'm enjoying the sun.
Have you been out in the water today?
I have been. I went for a walk. It's lovely.
Tell us how Raina the Mermaid came to be.
Well, I've always been interested in mermaids, and I found online that there were women in the States that had started doing this. There's a famous place called the Weeki Wachee Mermaids in Florida, where it's basically a theme park. Instead of seeing dolphins and whales and fish, you can see mermaids and women in these beautiful, elaborate costume tails performing, and they've been doing that since, I think, the 60s. And I found them and just was so enthralled, and I started doing research, and I realized this is something I could actually do if I could get a hold of a mermaid tail.
I'm looking at a photo of your costume, and it is just beautiful. Can you describe it for people who haven't seen it?
Sure. Well, the tail is actually made out of substance called neoprene, and that's what wetsuits are made out of. It's very soft, and it's covered in latex and silicone that has been painted and shaped to look like it has individual scales. The fluke is made with a monofin inside, and that's a special fin that freedivers use to help them swim, so I can swim in it. And it gives it that nice mermaid look to it, the big fluke. It's sort of got a fire theme to it. It's red and yellow and orange with some gold. It's really beautiful.
Now, once you get to your chosen locale for the day, can you actually walk?
No, I cannot walk. I have a lovely assistant, my wonderful boyfriend, who's so supportive of what I'm doing. He has to carry me everywhere, so he's got some nice merman muscles.
Now, you're not just sitting and wearing this costume and allowing people to admire it. You're actually trying to get the attention of kids wherever you are. Can you just talk about what you're doing?
Yeah, well, I actually have a degree in child and youth development, and I'm just finishing my degree in my Bachelor's of Education. And I really wanted to bring ecological issues to children because I really believe that children and youth have so much power for change. But a lot of things that are out there in the media are not targeted towards kids, and they're very overwhelming and they can be very scary. And I thought, what better way to help children understand about the ocean issues than by having a creature who lives in the ocean, a mythical mermaid, speak to them at a level they can understand. And the neat thing about the mermaid is I'm also physically at a level they can understand by, sitting down and being down at their level. And I just like to educate them, and I tell them about my home, the ocean, and I also like to encourage them to read. I tell them everyone believes mermaids only come to shore to chase after princes, but the truth is we can't read books underwater. We can only read them on land.
Now, describe the reactions of children when they see you and listen to you.
Children are just amazed, and even adults, have to take a double look because it's a very realistic tail, and especially I can move it in and out of the water, and I can make it sort of flap around, and I can swim, and it looks exactly like how you'd envision a mermaid. So they're usually, very in awe, and some of them know that it can't be real, but they're not sure. And the ones that, think it's not real, it's sort of funny, the reasons why they think it's not real. It's not because they see stitching or they look at it and they decide it's a costume. I had one little boy grab my legs and he said, "You have bones. Mermaids don't have bones."
Oh, no. And what indication do you have that your message is getting through? Do you feel like they're understanding what your message is?
Definitely, most definitely. I've done a lot of different events with children, and I get so much feedback from the parents. One of the things I also do is give out worry stones that I call mermaid stones, and I teach children that they can use them to help them self-regulate anger, and that's something that I get a lot of feedback on. And I have parents who, weeks after seeing me at an event and having a child receive a mermaid stone and talk about their feelings, are still taking the mermaid stone and using it when they're angry, and they take them to bed and they take them around. So I really know that that's working, but I get emails and so much feedback through things like Facebook. It's just been wonderful.
What difference would it have made to you as a young girl if you'd encountered a mermaid like Raina, do you think?
Well, it's funny. I sort of feel like I did, even though I never encountered one in real life. I grew up in a generation of The Little Mermaid and movies like Splash that had Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah. And even though I didn't know anybody physically, they helped me, watching these movies and being so inspired by their stories and seeing them overcome different things really helped me get through a lot of my own issues as a child. And, I can only imagine what I would be like now had I actually met somebody in a tale, because I'm sure this would be 100 times worse.
And what about, your message is sort of twofold, is what I'm hearing from you, that, you want to talk to kids about environmental issues, but you're also interested in their own emotional management. Why is that something you wanted to focus on?
Well, I had my own troubles growing up as a child in an abusive household with somebody who had mental illness and alcoholism. And I, through my own emotional work, I was trying to isolate the different things that helped me survive that. And I realized that imagination was such a key thing for me in coping. And when I work with kids, you never know their stories. You don't know what kind of background they have. So many of them have great backgrounds, and then some of them don't. But the point is, you don't know. So at least when I meet them, I can give them this magical moment, just the same way that those movies did for me. And I really believe in the healing power of imagination and the strength it can give children to overcome things. So I'd just like to reinforce it as much as I can.
Is there any way to know from day to day where Raina's going to be? Do you sort of post a tour schedule or anything like that, or do you just sort of choose a location spontaneously?
I do both. I have a Facebook page that you can find just by searching Raina, the Halifax Mermaid. I also have a Twitter that's connected to my phone, because mermaids are wired in now. And I post day-to-day things on that. I post photos of behind the scenes. I'm always updating events, and I also have a personal website, rainamermaid.com, and that has all my past and upcoming events. The next thing I'm doing is actually the Mahone Bay Pirates Festival on July 30th.
All right, great. Well, that is good to know, and we so appreciate your time this afternoon, Stephanie. It's really nice to talk to you. I hope you have a very successful summer, and do keep in touch with us and let us know what you're up to.
Thank you so much. I think I'll go for a swim.
Okay. That sounds like something a mermaid would be ready to do about now. Thanks again, Stephanie.